Good evening YouTube, this is Soul of the Damned here. I thought I'd bring you something slightly different to my normal music video routine until Halo 4 comes out, which of course we're all very excited. I do have one planned for the next week or so, so feel free to click the subscribe button. Anybody who knows me will of course know it's a game called Darkside. It's a very underappreciated game, I feel. So I thought I'd make a video about it and show you how awesome a game it actually is. Today I'll be showing you something slightly different, is how to rip DVDs to iPod, mobile, or just to watch from your computer with no loss of viewing quality whatsoever. The first thing I will show you is how to rip it onto your iPod quality, and then we'll take it from there. This is the software I use. It's called Magic DVD Ripper. You can get a trial version of it, but it will only give you 5 tries. I bought the full version for around £20, and for me, who watch a lot of films on my iPod, it was very, very worth it. Right, so this is what you first see when you load this up. If you have the trial version, some of these features may not be available, because of course I do have the full version. The first thing I do when I come into this is I go up here and I set where I want my movies to go. The second thing I do is I come to here, profile, and there are, as you can see, lots of different profiles. We have iPods, PS3s, PSPs, as well as mobiles such as Motorola, Nokia, and things like Zune. This one here, original MPEG 2, is one I'll be showing you later on. It's how to convert a movie to a single file to watch from your computer with no loss of quality. However, it will be quite big, so I wouldn't advise you putting it on an iPod. It's about 4 GB, depending on the length of the movie. Right, so we go OK. I of course stick to iPhone despite having an iPod. There's really no difference between the two, but what I do is I go here to edit. You can change everything. You can change the name, the type of file you want it to be, the frame rate, and volume if you know what you're doing. Volume of course is fairly straightforward. You want it louder if you're deaf. You can change the resolution if you really do know what you're doing. I've tried it a few times and it's easiest just to leave it be. It's already preset to what you need it for an iPod or iPhone. There is an iPad setting that has its own profile, which if you have an iPad I would use that and not try to change the settings yourself. What I do prefer to do is come down to here, MP4, iPod options, and change the video quality from, it's normally normal, to very high. I have an iPod 4, so of course it has retina capable display. What you tend to find is on lower quality such as normal, I haven't tried it on high, but from normal you tend to have zigzaggy lines where it gets blurry during action scenes, so I prefer to keep it very high, very high. That will give you, depending on the length of the film, around about an 800 megabyte file, which if you're like me and have an iPod 4 32 gigabyte is really no problem at all. But of course, depending on your iPod or iPhone memory size, you may choose to have it slightly lower. Normal quality is good enough to view. However, as I say, if you have a retina display, you may prefer very high purely because it looks a lot better. You can see the difference, and of course it won't get blurry when you have high octane action scenes. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go OK to save those settings, and I'm going to put in my DVD. The DVD I'm using today is Lord of the Rings. So we'll just put it in and I'll leave it to load up. So give it a second. Here we go. Right, so just let it do all this and then it will show you lots of options. Okay, so this is the title. So it's analysed the disc and it's found 2 titles. It generally tends to pick the right one. However, what you may find is this title 2, which you don't want, is most likely a special feature such as the making of. So what I'll do, I'll stick to title 1 because that is the right one. Audio, you don't really want to mess with this unless you exactly know what you're doing. I don't, so I just tend to leave it. Obviously, if you're slightly hard of hearing, you may want to have subtitles. I don't ever need them. If it has subtitles in it, as Lord of the Rings does when they speak Elfish or in Iron Man, whatever film you have, if you watch on a DVD and it has it, Converting it will pick up those subtitles, however they are sometimes slightly blurry despite very high quality video that I showed you here. I'm afraid there's nothing really you can do about that, you just have to grin and bear it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here where it's named the disc, and I'm just going to rename it. Unfortunately it doesn't take giant names, so I'm simply going to put Lord of the Rings 1 Part 1 for, of course, the first half of Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring. Then I'm just going to simply go down here and select Start. And it will take, usually takes between 20 and 30 minutes. It's not generally longer than that unless it's an exceptionally long film. So I'm going to pause this and I'm going to come back to it when it's finished. So here we are again, YouTube. The ripping is just about to finish, and then I'll show you how it comes out. Thank you. Right, so we go over here, and we go down to here, and we go into the file I put it in. Right, so here we are. As you know, the film was around 2 hours long, and the file is 951 megabytes. That is larger than normal, but A, it's longer, and we did put the quality up to very high video and audio. That will naturally make it bigger. If you kept it normal because your phone or iPod was running out of memory, it would be around 500 megabytes for such a big film. So that's it for this video. Watch my next one. I'll be showing you how to convert a DVD into a single file for watching on your computer with no loss to viewing quality whatsoever.